The MLB season has finally come to a close here in the 2022, and now it's time for playoffs. Everything is set. Now, I've got an MLB expert here to explain to us how the playoffs will go down, and we're going to be having predictions, debates, controversy, everything. So, let's start it off. Cardinals, Phillies, all three in St. Louis. Who do you got, Andrew?
Think this is a clear favorite for the Cardinals to win. I think the Phillies are, they're a raw team. They're kind of like streaky. They're all over the place. Like sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just hit for power and they win. It's all over the place. I think Cardinals are a better overall team. So I think it's going to be a clear 2-0 for them, just based off the experience, especially with Pujols. Some of them don't have playoff experience, but they definitely have the bats to and the defense to show up.
I agree. The only thing I can say about the Phillies is they have a better pitching staff than the Cardinals, but the Cardinals make up for it with MVP candidates, Pujols getting hot. But let me tell you something though. If they have Montgomery out there pitching, he's gonna get lit up whenever he plays good pitching teams. Played the Braves, lit up. With the Yankees, when he was playing, he was getting lit up as if it was 4th of July. Couldn't tell the difference. But when he was playing the Cubs, when he was playing the Rockies, dude looked like, you know, Roger Clemens. But now he plays bad against good teams, and now he's gonna play in the playoffs. He's gonna melt down like always. Jordan Montgomery will be lit up. You can clip it. But I do agree, Cardinals into clean sweep in the wild card. They've got the better team with the bats, MVP candidates, and the pitching's not that far off, but it's not as good as the Phillies. So I agree. Now, Mets, Padres, Drew. Who do you got between these two? I do understand you don't like the Padres, but I want to hear what you have to say here.
I think this is probably the best series we've had in the wild card. Well, this is the first time we've had a series in the wild card since 2020, but it's the best series so far out of the ones that we have. It's the closest one. The Padres, they could do really good. They could just suck. It kind of depends. The Mets are also a streaky team. You see how they did against the Braves. They just completely folded. They didn't answer the call, whatever. I think Padres pitching, I think their top two starters aren't as good as DeGrom and Scherzer, but their their whole lineup and stuff is better than the Mets. I think the Mets are a little too streaky and they just folded, so I just don't see it happening. I see Padres 2-1.
I agree. I think the Mets, out of all the teams in the playoffs, are the most likely to melt down. They're meltdown city. It ain't New York, it's meltdown city for them because this team, they have Scherzer and DeGrom going up against the Braves. They absolutely need some kind of win. They get swept. Frank the Tank, he's been saying the Mets are not going to do anything. They're going to get swept. They're going to get humiliated by the Padres. Bloodbath, his exact words. And so far, he seems like the prophet. He's got the Bible in front of us, and we have to listen to him. Completely agreed. And, the Mets are the Mets. But the Padres, on the other hand, they've got Musgrove. They've got Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, three pitchers you can really ride through the playoffs. You've got, Juan Soto. He's had, brilliant years. You've got Brandon Drury, who's been doing good. You've got Machado. I think this team has a formula to win a championship, possibly. But what they are missing is Fernando Tatis. Instead, they have IKF West Coast. So I'm gonna be Padres in three. Now the next series we've got here is Dodgers Padres. Nice little division rivalry here. What do you think here?
We've historically, or the Dodgers have historically, um, beat the Padres in multiple series, and we've basically beat them either it's like 3-1 or 2-1 series where we've come out on top. Uh, I forgot the actual like number since like a couple years ago, like our records against them. Overwhelmingly, we've won more games than we lost. Overwhelmingly. So I think just like the series this year, I think they take at least one, but we take the series overall. So I think it's going to be 3-1 Dodgers. And our
You
team's
know,
better.
I strongly, 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 and I can't say this enough, dislike the Dodgers. and and I would love to see the Padres win this. I think they have the potential to beat the Dodgers, but potential doesn't mean anything if you don't get it done. So I also have Dodgers in four. I think they've gotten, some trash pitcher from Colorado, made him into something amazing. And
He's okay, but yeah.
he's been great. He's been great. Angels fans are pretty dumb for saying we avoided him, thank God. Like this guy could have been their ace. But anyways, the Dodgers added Freddie Freeman at first base. They've got Trey Turner. They've got Mookie Betts. They've got a Cy Young possible winner this year in Julio Urias. They've got the experience with Kershaw. They've got what else?
They got
They
Dustin
Tony
May. They got
Gonsolin,
Tony Gonsolin.
Andrew Heaney, who I hope he gets lit up, to be honest.
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be a
be
back.
honest.
He's gonna be like a piggyback starter. That's what he's been
Yeah.
doing this last couple games. So
Yeah, and they're trying to treat him as if he was Julio Urias in 2020. And honestly, I think that could massively fail if they really go that route with him. But I think the Dodgers are, destined to win. They have over 100 wins. The Padres have been, slumpy, but they do have the formula to beat the Dodgers. But I think the Dodgers are just too OP. So I agree, Dodgers in four. Now we've got Cardinals, Braves, 5-game series. Who do you got?
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I think actually no, I'm gonna keep it the same. Never mind. I'm gonna say Braves take it, but I
Mhm.
think the Cardinals give up a good fight. Uh, it's Poole's last run. I think that team's gonna turn up. Not turn up enough to know, though, to beat the Braves. You're still not sure if Arenado's gonna show up in postseason. I think he did decent in the wild card last year. I forgot if he got a hit or two. I think he got a home run. I'm not sure. But we just haven't seen him in a full series since I think it was 2018 with the Rockies, and I think they got swept. So I think I think it's Braves 3-2, but they barely squeak by, barely.
I agree as well. I think the Cardinals are a very dangerous team, but the Braves, yeah, they won the World Series last year, but it seems like they have that hunger as if they didn't win it because really Freddie Freeman led that team, right? And Ronald Acuna wasn't there in the playoffs. Olsen wasn't there. And this team wants to win it without him after he left them, you know. So I think they're out here trying to prove it. They've got the pitching staff. They're a dangerous team, and I could really see this team winning it possibly. So I think they're gonna get out in five, just barely, but they're gonna get out in five. So Braves, Dodgers, we both are, completely on the same page. Could things turn into a little turmoil with Dodgers, Braves, NLCS? What do you got? I want to hear it.
And here's the thing: people are going to say, "Oh, it's the 1 and 2 seeds. Obviously, they're going to make the NLCS." But I think clearly they're better teams, except maybe the Cardinals is the
Mm.
exception. But I think they're clearly the best two teams that have the most experience and the most to prove. Like you were explaining in your last thought, was that the Dodgers are one of the best teams of all time. Next maybe like the Yankees in the late '90s and early 2000s. They're one of the best teams. On paper, they're one of the best teams, but they need to show it now. Doesn't matter if you win 111 games, doesn't matter if you win 114, 116, doesn't matter. You show up when it needs to show up. And I think we have the team, the Dodgers have the team to show up when it matters. Braves, on the other hand, also have that team, but I think overall we're better. It's going to be a close series, just like every other year when we play them in the NLCS. It was 2020 we did 20 2019 we didn't even make NLCS.
Played them last year in the NLDS, right?
Yes. So we did 2020, then we did 2021 with them. That's when they won,
Mhm.
obviously. That series is always good. So I think it's gonna be Dodgers, but I think it's best of seven, right? So it's
Yep,
gonna be
that's the
think it'll
seven.
yeah, so 4-3 LA. It's gonna be close though.
I'm gonna have to say the Braves. I see something special going on with this team. And yes, the Dodgers are, they've got a big three, but this Braves team, what I
Big
saw against
four.
the Mets, and they've been going off, having these crazy win streaks. And Frank the Tank has been raging about the Braves never lose. They don't lose. And I genuinely believe the Braves are gonna walk in and will take this series in seven, and we'll see them in the World Series. Ronald Acuna has a point to prove. He said in an interview that he was happy Freddie Freeman left because of the rules he was trying to implement him when he was young.
Yeah,
And
that was a commonplace thing. That was rules and standards set in place by the team.
and
So Freddie was probably given the same instructions when he was there. So blame it on Freddie, blame it on the rules and traditions that were put in place.
well, Acuna feels some way about it. Freddie Freeman left the Braves. So, and Matt
Got a
Olson
better
gets
offer.
compared constantly. I mean, what's
He
going on with this
did.
agent? What's going on with this agent that he hid the other offer?
That was proven to be false. There was a report that came out saying that he retracted his statement. That report was deemed false. And the agent also came out with something saying the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know on that one, but we don't know the details. But
It's a
I'm
Braves
just
fan.
saying the Braves feel indifferent, or they feel a little hurt. And Ronald Acuna definitely doesn't like Freddie Freeman. Matt Olson wants to prove he's the better left-handed first baseman in Atlanta. And I think the Braves are really going to be hungry. They've got the pitching staff. They got Spencer Strider. I think they're really going to take the series in seven. We'll be seeing the Braves. You said the Dodgers. I said the Braves. And I think this could be really a coin flip. If you really look at it at unbiased point of view, it can go either way.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the AL wild card. Cleveland, Tampa, all of them in Cleveland. What do you got?
Oh, this is the definition of a mid off right here. These are going to be boring games. Thank God it's not at 9 in the morning because I definitely don't want to see this game. Um, I don't know. There's just this series doesn't really excite me that much. I don't really care for it. It doesn't. I don't know. It's whatever. I think there's a couple players on Tampa Bay that's been out, but infamously, Razni Rosarena's turned up in the playoffs. Shane McClanahan's good. They have a couple other arms in the bullpen that are good.
They got Glass now back.
They got Glass now, which he didn't do great in the World Series in 2020, but he's he's still good. Um, but remember, he's only pitched like not much, so we don't know how good he is this year or if he's fully back or all that stuff. Um, oh man, this is kind of a tough one because I don't know. They're kind of
It,
both
it
kind of
was
mid.
tough. When I was deciding this, I was going back and forth, comparing everything, and it was very tough because like the last time they played was that little series when Cleveland was going off, but Cleveland's not gonna go off like that in the playoffs. And I genuinely
Mm,
don't think so. And I think Tampa, yeah, they've got injuries, but they always, kind of work it out. And they're getting healthier. They've got that guy they pulled out of the bullpen that's starting now that has a great ERA. I
yeah, I
forget
forgot his
it.
name.
It's a long name. It starts with the R. It's like Rose, so something like that. Don't at me because I'm
Mm.
butchering his name really bad, but he's been great. And I went back and forth and I said Cleveland in three. I'm solely saying it because home, field advantage. That's the only reason that I kind of decided on it.
I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Guardians because I honestly forget about them playing all three games there.
Yeah.
So I definitely think the Guardians win.
Yeah, I just think it's that all three games in one place really plays a factor, but it's a lot better than it has been when it was just one game off. But let's
Yeah.
let's move into the Blue Jays Mariners, all in Toronto. Who do you got?
If you remember 2016, seven, like when the Blue Jays made the playoffs, I think it was 2016. Um, Toronto's different in the postseason. They turn up. So as much as I want the Mariners to win, just because they've not dipped into the playoffs since 2001. I want to see them do something, but I think it's gonna be Blue Jays. I want to say, mm, mm, I want to. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say 2-0 Blue Jays. I'm gonna say
2-0.
2-0 Blue Jays. Yeah.
It's already announced as this video is being recorded. It's Manoa, Luis Castillo, day one game. It's a pretty nasty matchup.
That's a tough matchup. I
And
mean,
I mean, all I gotta say here is that Toronto place, as much as I
electric.
don't like it, gets turned in October.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a huge factor. These are two teams
Hmm.
that could really make a run. And I'm glad, that the Yankees don't really face them right away. I'm glad that we'll only be facing one of the three teams that could beat us. And I believe we're going to be seeing the Blue Jays go through solely because that home field advantage. That's really what's going to make the difference. It's really hard to win
Yeah.
a 3-game series in someone else's home, especially when the stakes are this high. So I got Blue Jays in 3. Now let's move on to Astros Blue Jays 5-game series. Who do you got?
This is unbiased, 100% unbiased.
Mhm.
I think the Blue Jays take it. I think here's the problem. Here's the problem. Astros are good. I personally think the Blue Jays are a sleeper. They have so many good pieces that can propel them to a World Series, to a World Series finish. Like even with the Mariners series, it's if their young players show up. I
Yeah.
think George Springer's going to show up. I think Vladdy's going to show up. I think some of their pieces are going to show up. I'm going to take the Blue Jays 3-2.
We're on the same page. I
That's
actually
crazy.
also put the Blue Jays to win in 5 games. I think the Astros are gonna pull a kind of a Boston Red Sox thing, what they did last year, where they
Mm,
completely took that
that's good.
series. You
Yep.
know, the Rays absolutely took the Red Sox like nothing. They thought they already won the series. They were eating popcorn in the middle of the game. They absolutely thought they were going to win that series. And then they got absolutely shocked when the Red Sox just turned up. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
same thing's going to happen here. Houston, everybody, they have them first to be favored to win the World Series on gambling odds. They're going to be overconfident. They really just believe that the Yankees are what's standing in their way from being in the World Series. And I think the Blue Jays are going to shock them and they're going to get beat in 5. They're going to lose in Houston. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting series.
Now, here, I believe we're going to disagree. I don't know why. Got the feeling. Got the feeling. Cool. Well, we got Cleveland Yankees. What do you think?
Yankees 3-1. I think the Yankees are still good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I think that series is the wild card was mid, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just saying Cleveland's gonna win. You guys are winning. You guys are winning the next round though, so you need to relax there. But the Yankees will win 3-1 based off pitching staff, lineup. I think the thing is the lineup needs to show up. The pitching, I think it's Garrett. Hate to say it, but Garrett Cole blew it last year, so he needs a big redemption tour if he wants to prove himself.
I
I
mean,
still think Yankees 3-1 though.
I have them at 3-1 as well. Um, the Yankees, what I do have to say is I agree, it's Garrett Cole. I think we win or lose off Garrett Cole. He pitches great. It's just that one pitch that just gets absolutely nuked. It always happens. He's dominant and then he has a bad pitch and he gets destroyed. It's not like
It's the one
everyone
without the
else.
spider tack. Yeah.
No, no. But I don't know what's going on with them. You'll see him with 11 strikeouts, 4 earned runs, and it's like 4 home runs and 4 hits. It's like He's great. He's dominant, but he just has a fluke pitch that absolutely just ruins the whole night. And everybody like says, "Oh, what a bad pitching night!" But it's just that one pitch that makes the difference, and that has been his problem all year. And I saw it firsthand in person. I see it on TV every day. It's just that one pitch. But I think the Yankees can overcome a Garrett Cole, blown thing. Frankie Montas will not be pitching. Thank God. And
Oh,
yes,
is he injured?
yeah. So we're rocking with Domingo Herman instead.
He might be ready by then, so you never know.
If Cashman really gets prideful and throws him in, I'm not watching his game.
I will.
I can't stand watching Frankie Montas, but we literally gifted the A's prospects for no reason. But Cleveland, they have a good pitching team. They've got a MVP candidate who's not gonna win it in J Ram. They've got young players. They're all right. They can get a game off the Yankees, but the Yankees winning four. Come on.
Yeah, agreed.
So we've got Yankees, Blue Jays. We agree on this one. What do you got? No way.
I
No.
think the Blue Jays are gonna be going all the way to the World Series. I think it's gonna be a 4-2 Blue Jays win. 4-2. I think, and I might be completely dumb, but I think Blue Jays are gonna be the Braves of last year. I think they could.
That's blasphemous. That's diabolical.
It's intelligence. I think that's what we're just trying to
Diabolical.
find. It's intelligence.
No, I don't. I think the Yankees would win in six in this one. I genuinely believe they go to six. They have, Aaron Judge hit the 61 home run in Toronto.
Regular season.
If he can do that in Toronto, absolutely go in there and
Mm-hmm.
murk that home run, even though they
Mm-hmm.
were just intentionally walking him,
Ain't
intentionally
going down the
walking
middle,
him.
but yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they just throw one ball that they mess up on and Judge destroys it. Even have the Blue Jays fans cheering for him. I think it's destiny. The Yankees will make the World Series. When they match up, I think the Blue Jays have Manoah is the best pitcher out of the Yankees and Blue Jays, starting pitchers, but I think there's a little bit more depth. I know they have Kevin Gausman and stuff, but Nestor
Mm-hmm.
Cortez, let's respect him. They've got Severino, who just couldn't have pitched better his outing against the Rangers. And then not only that, Jameson Tylon, who, gives me, high blood pressure. And then Domingo Herman, who, what a pitcher he
I'm not
is.
gonna say anything.
And the bullpen is going to be our weak link, though we don't have a closer as well. And
Yeah, you do.
who?
Boris Chapman.
He, he had a good outing the other day, but then before that he had loaded up the bases for Marchino. So, he either comes out as primal as Chapman or as if he was throwing with his right hand. So it's kind of odd with him. But I think the Yankees going six. I think they're the superior team in the AL. They're hot right now, or they're going into October hot. And I know people tell me they're on a 2-game losing streak. We are literally playing the low A team right now. We don't care if we were going to get 100 wins or not. We just wanted to be healthy. And World Series is better than 100 wins. Anybody can agree with that. And we will be in the World Series. So what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. So you think Blue Jays Dodgers is the World Series?
Yeah.
So who would you choose to win that?
I think you know the answer to that. I think it's gonna be Dodgers 4-2. They win their second chip in the last 2 years. And we just become a dynasty.
Mickey Mouse. Anyways,
But we won though. But whatever. Keep going.
let's say we live in your reality, and I'm putting my opinion on
Everyone's
Blue
reality.
Jays, Dodgers, World Series. I would have to say the Dodgers would probably win because
Okay.
the Blue Jays aren't a World Series caliber team. Clip me now, clip me whenever. They won't be in the World Series. The Dodgers possibly are. And I just think the Dodgers would win that probably in 5. I think Manoa gets a game off you guys, but the rest of the games, you guys lit them up. And if that were to happen, World Series MVP prediction would probably be Mookie Betts. If you say Justin Turner, I'll jump off.
I was gonna say something worse, but keep going.
Well, let's hear your prediction on my World Series prediction and Yankees Braves. Who would win
Yankees
that?
Braves.
If that was a who do you predict to win?
Oh, bro, that's Braves in 7.
In 7?
Yeah, Braves in 7 if that happens. Not gonna happen, but Braves in 7.
I got Yankees in 6.
Actually, that'd be crazy if the Braves win in. Oof. I
You
still take the
know,
Braves though.
I would say Yankees in 6, win in New York. And I would love to have a win in Atlanta where they're doing the chop.
Actually, Braves would have this. Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because I would love for them to win in game 5 in Atlanta where I'm gonna just see let's chop, guys.
The racist chop, yep.
The racist chop.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely love to see us win in there after they do that chop. I don't know. It would just be absolutely great. But the Braves, you got to give respect. Where they play is pretty insane stadium. It's really hard to play there. But I think the Yankees are going to be World Series champs. If they get hot, they get Matt Carpenter back, possibly in the ALDS. They're going to be getting healthier. No, don't even sleep on Matt Carpenter, dude. He has like the highest OPS
First of all, it's the ALDS, but
yeah,
yeah,
the
I know what you mean.
ALDS, yeah. And he comes back then. He's gonna you don't understand what you're sleeping on, bro. This guy is Barry Bonds reborn. You're really gonna laugh at that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay. But Yankees are gonna win the World Series. Judge gets his nice little bonus. World Series MVP, but Oswaldo Cabrera is gonna take over the playoffs, having a Juan Soto year where he's just gonna go off. You heard it here first. Oswaldo Cabrera is gonna be the guy who goes off throughout the playoffs. He'll be the MVP of the whole, playoffs, but just the World Series is Judge. But Cabrera's gonna he's gonna arrive.
Yeah, right on the bench, maybe.
He's starting, but what are you gonna put Aaron Hicks out there instead?
Proven major league talent.
Oh no, bro, he sucks. He's garbage, bro.
Oh, he's garbage. Okay.
Yeah, we probably should have not traded Joey Gallo. Instead, we should have traded Aaron Hicks to you guys.
Hey, we would have fixed him.
All I gotta say, I'm gonna lose my mind if I see Joey Gallo with the championship ring. And if he hits a World Series walk-off against the Yankees,
Any home run, I would be happy.
would
Any.
when he initially got traded, I was like, he's gonna walk us off in the World Series, confirmed, But that was as a joke. But if it's reality,
It's gonna be reality. I hate to break it to you.
I'm jumping off from the
If
top.
you guys make it there.
I'll jump off from top of the Dodger Stadium, just. All right, but anyways, leave a comment down below your thoughts on our predictions, where we went wrong, where we went right. Is there a sleeping dark horse that we just completely slept on as if it was a mattress, or did we do well? And just let me know in the comments what you think, and make sure to like and subscribe. And anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you till the next video.